Okay, students, I'm going to go over your practice test here. It'd be good if you already tried this on your own, and then you can check your answers here. Uh, if not, you can watch this first one. I'm going to do 1 through 5 and show them the work for it. And then you pause the video and you try these 5, just like the top 5, same steps, just different numbers. And then I will post just the answers here without any work. Okay. So you have these in your email so that you can go back and practice them so you have them down pat. You can get 100% on this quiz. It's going to be the last one of the quarter, last graded assignment of the quarter here, third quarter. All right. So we want to, and notice it says show correct work for credit. If you just put down answer, you get no credit, 0. I don't care if it's right. You have to show the correct work. Okay. So you tried doing that on your last test. You just got the answers off. Somebody plugged it in the box, got no credit for it, 0 out of 3. Got to show the work. It says show all work. It didn't say show some work. It shows all the work. So if you only showed some of the work, you only got partial credit out of the 3 on that last test. Okay, here we go. This I know is in degrees because over here it says radians. So radians is the final answer. Radians has pi in it. Okay. So I have 240 degrees, and therefore I must have degrees down here on the bottom and cancel out. And we know that pi radians equals 180 degrees. So pi over 180 is equivalent to 1. Okay, when you're talking about pi radians, not just pi itself. Okay, so obviously degrees cancel out. Those that can do fractions from elementary school onward, you can easily reduce that. See the GCF, well, you can cancel out the zeros if you wanted to. Okay, and then you have GCF of 18 and 24 is 6. 6 goes into 18 3 times. 6 goes into 24 4 times. And then I just multiply across, I get 4 pi over 3. Those of you who can't handle fractions because you haven't learned them still, you're going to put all this in your calculator. Okay? So let's show you how to do that. Remember, this is the calculator that you're going to see in the DCAS in May. Calculator's right here in the middle. You can always move it to the side. Don't forget, there's the clear button. Don't forget it's always in radians. So when I get to here, I want to change it to degrees when I'm dealing with radians and degrees. Okay, it's up to you to remember that. You can't ask the teacher how to do it on a test. Okay, so because you're not going to ever answer anything in radians on the DCAS. Unless you're doing some conversion like this, but you're still going to be in degrees. Okay, so you would have done 240, since you're leaving pi in the answer, all you have to do is go 240 divided by 180. 240 divided by 180. It's going to give you that decimal, and of course I hit math, enter, enter, and it gives me the fraction of 4/3. And there you see your 4/3 right there. So there is no excuse for anybody not getting this right. Because if you can't reduce fractions, you can just put in the calculator. Number 2 here. Somehow I didn't get widened enough to put the pi in here. So you're going to have to, on both of these, you're going to have to put the pi in here. I mustn't open this cell wide enough to do that, because I don't think I forgot the pi in there, but it's not there. How do I know pi was there? Because over here it says it wants in degrees. So if it's on degrees on the right side, then pi radians must have been on the left side. So that's what we're doing, is converting. Okay, so I have 11 pi over 6 times. I need to have the pi down here so that they cancel. And of course, 180 equals pi. So now I have the pi's canceling. I have 180 divided by 6 is 30. And then 30 times 11 is 330. So 330 degrees. Again, you could have put all that in a calculator. You would have gone 11 times 180. 11 times 180. And then divided by, what was it? 6. And there's your 330 right there. Okay. All right, number 3. It says find the arc length of BC. Now you got to remember there's 2 BCs. It could have been this BC or this BC. Well, remember, as I've already told you in the videos, if they only give you 2 letters like this, it's always the minor arc. So therefore, it's always this green one. Remember, minor arc is between 0 and 180. A major arc is between 180 and 360. All right, so angle BAC equals 45 degrees. And arc length is a fraction. So we have a fraction of the circumference. The circumference is 2 pi r. You should have that memorized by now. And it's a fraction of the 360 degrees. Well, what fraction is it? It tells me right there, 45 degrees. 45, I can do 45 times 2 and get 90 over 360 times, we've already done the 2, pi times r. R is 5. I could have filled that 5 in right away, right there. Okay, so now I have 90 over 360, which cancels down nicely to 1/4, and then pi and 5, which then is 5 pi over 4. You don't know the units, so you just leave it as u. Now, you have to, again, stop from putting pi in the calculator. You don't do any of that unless it tells you to round, as it does right there. In number 5, it's the only time you're going to put pi in the calculator. If it only asks for the arc length, that means exact arc length. Or if it says answer in terms of, oh, dang it, somehow this pi got canceled out. I didn't get it wide enough. Okay, so answer in terms of pi is what it should have said there. So you have to fill that in. I'll have to correct that before I print out the quizzes here. Okay. All right, so number 4. Again, answer in terms of pi, that means exact answer. Another way of saying exact answer. This is another way of saying exact answer. Angle BAC is 30 this time. So we have 30 out of the 360 degrees. But this one, we want the area of that sector. Area, pi r squared. You should already know that. Okay, 1/12. Reduce to 1/12 of 9 pi. 3 squared is 9. 9/12 reduces to 3/4. So 3/4 pi units squared. We don't know what the units are, so you just use u for units. We know it's squared because it's area. Area is always squared versus any straight length is just units. So again, since on set 5, we're finding the area, we know it's going to be units squared, so they haven't given us units here either. Okay, they tell me that's 90 degrees. So on number 5, we're finding the area of this sector like we did here, and then we have to subtract off the area of the triangle. So area of sector minus area of triangle. Okay, area of sector would be my x over 360 times pi r squared. Area of a triangle we know is 1/2 base times the height. Well, this base and height, remember, always at 90 degrees, which is there, and each of these is a radius. So now it's really saying x over 360 pi r squared minus 1/2 r squared, because base and height are both r. We know our degrees, our x degrees here is 90 degrees. It's already told us that right there. So I have 90 over 360 pi, what's r? 7. 7 squared. We'll just do that right now. We'll do 49. Some of you who can't handle squared, you better not think 7 squared is 14 and doing 7 times 2. So if you're that type, you need to do 7 squared in the calculator. Make sure you get your 49. Minus 1/2 of r squared again is 49. So 90 over 360 is 1/4 of 49 pi minus 49 halves. This would be the exact answer. Okay, and you can put 49 pi over 4. But they didn't ask for that. They asked for the nearest hundredth. So now we need to put that in the calculator. So I'm going to put in 49 pi divided by 4 minus 49 halves, or 24.5. So 49 pi right there divided by 4. That's what it was, right? Yes. Minus 49 halves equals 13.98. We're going to the nearest hundredth. So we have to look at the thousandth spot. It's a 4. You don't look at the 5 to round up the 4. You just look at the 4. 4 is less than 5, so it stays at 13.98. So approximately 13.98 square units. Okay, it's a decimal there. All right, so there's the steps to do. You've already done this in your Mathia, and you've done it on any practice in class you've done as well. Okay. I at least see that you've done 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm guessing you've done 5 in class as well. But if not, done on Mathia, and here it is right here. Okay, if you've been keeping up with your Mathia like you should. Okay, so now I want you to pause the video, and I want you to go ahead and work all these ones out. Let me put that pi back in there. Okay. And when you're done, hit play and see if you get them right. I'm just going to go ahead now and post the answers. No work. You have the work above on how to do these. So again, if you haven't paused it, pause it. When you're ready, hit play and check. Okay, so there you go. Like I said, I'll go back now and correct, put those pies back in there. So I print out the quizzes, you'll have it, but this is exactly what your quiz is going to look like. There's 2 practice quizzes for you. You can go again. You've got it in your email, blank right there. You can work them out again. You've got all the answers for all of them again, so you can check. I suggest you do that the day before your test too, and the day of your test if you got EL during that day before your test. So if you're the 7th period or 4th period, you should be working these out again during seminar. After your can do you on Wednesday, for example, or just Thursday seminar. Work these out again. Shouldn't take you that long, and then you'll know that you have them or not. All right, that does it.